we now need to assign the resources to their tasks in the project management tool. To do this, first click on the task tab and then click on the Gantt icon. So in this case we're already there, but I'll do it anyway. Make sure that the Gantt chart is showing. Okay, make sure that you can see the resource names column on the Gantt sheet view. So to do this, we select our vertical bar and then move it over to the right so we can see the resource names column. Now I want to make sure that it's understood that we cannot add any names here that we did not add to the resource sheet. So we added me, Chris, and Pat. So let's add Jack here. No, you get an error message. So we'll say OK. So we need to add either me, Chris, or Pat, because those are the only resources that have been entered for this project. Now we also said that we want to I wanted to try to get this project done as early as all by myself if I can. So I'm going to go ahead and just put me on every task and see what happens. Now the start and done, as we've talked about before, are milestones, so it doesn't really matter if you assign a resource to it or not. I could put me on this start, but unless there's a specific reason why you want someone's name associated with a milestone, and there might be. It might be that, you know, when a milestone occurs, there's someone that needs to own that, or someone needs to drive that, or someone needs to be notified of that. But in a lot of cases, or certainly from a costing point of view, because milestones have no effort and no duration, there's no cost involved. So you can go ahead and leave the milestones with no resource names if you wanted. So we've entered all of our resource information, right, to the project, right? We've added just me, the resource me, to the 4 main tasks. So now what we can do is we can check if the resource me is over allocated. So if I go to the resource tab and click on the resource usage view, you'll see a view of all the data in our project organized by person, right? So it's organized by person first, by resource first, and then by task. There's a corresponding task usage view under the task icon, task main menu item, which shows you task first and then resource. So depending on what you need to know, these are two very, very useful views, resource usage and task usage. So anyway, for resource usage, notice that the resource me is scheduled for 13 hours of work as follows: 8 hours on Monday, 5 hours on Tuesday. And it's decomposed this way, right? There's 2 hours of buy ingredients followed by 6 hours of make cake. Now, when we entered the make cake task, we didn't say 6 hours and then 2 hours. So Project Libre has split these for us. And it's done that based on the calendar that we set up for our resources, right? Which was for a standard 8-hour day. Okay, so I want to warn you though that project management tools do not automatically adjust resource assignments in all cases. Okay, now you would think that project management tools, you know, in this day and age would have algorithms to automatically assign resources to tasks for us, but as far as I know, they don't. They have some tools that do it to a certain degree, but not to the degree that a lot of project managers expect. This is an area, this whole resource assignment area and resolving over allocations of resources, that is still manual for many, many tools. I did want to point out that Project Libre on its website does say that they're working on adding an automated resource leveling tool to this product, but it's not out yet. And so if you're going to research different project management tools, be sure to investigate if and how well they help you with assigning resources to tasks and determining whether there's over allocations or not. This is one of the critical areas that you're going to want to research in tools if you're thinking about using or getting a more sophisticated, certainly a more expensive project management tool. They all do them differently. They do this differently, and some of them claim to do it very well, and let's just say that they what they can actually do isn't as good as what they say. All right, there's one other nugget of information that I want to give you in this video, and that is that some people will tell you that they don't like to use project management tools to manage their projects because the tools are too complicated. They just like to use a spreadsheet to keep it simple. Now, what I want to point out here is that a tool like Project Libre, and most tools are this way, is really just a spreadsheet. This is really a spreadsheet, right? This Gantt view and even the resource view. If you look at the resource, this is just a spreadsheet, right? With a Gantt chart built in and with a scheduling engine built in, right? It has automatic views built in. It lets you do summary tasks and subtasks automatically. So I fail to see how just putting this information in a spreadsheet is going to get you is going to make your tasks simpler in terms of managing all the project information that you have to manage your project effectively. Let me make this a little bit clearer by doing this. If I select all of the tasks, all the information in my schedule, okay, so I'm going to select that information. I'm going to hit Control C, copy it. Then I'm going to take this information and I'm going to copy it into this spreadsheet. Now I've already entered the task name and duration and start all these fields so that they were already entered for you. Didn't have to take too much time, but you'll see now I have all the same information now that was entered into Project Libre. It's now entered into a spreadsheet. Now how is this spreadsheet easier, going to make your life easier as a project manager versus something like a tool like this, which gives you these these nice charts, all of these ways to look at resources and other views. It has a scheduling engine behind it. Now it may not be perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect, but using a tool like this is going to be significantly easier than trying to build essentially a project management tool in a spreadsheet where you're going to end up having to generate all the formulas and etc. So my advice is folks that say they would prefer to use a spreadsheet really don't know anything about the tools, and in fact that's the problem they have. They've never taken the time to really look at the tools and using the tools. So if you understand how to use the project management tool properly, it's going to be much better for you than a spreadsheet for managing a project.